All right, what up, y'all? I'm on the B side of this walk. Something I was thinking about here is this whole idea about patriarchy. A lot of people use the word and they don't really understand what it means. A lot of men hear other men and women use this word. They don't fully grasp what it is as well. So through my clinical mental health work that I do, through my research that I do, as I work towards better unpacking the systems at place for neurodivergent folks. That just means folks who are autistic, dyslexic, ADHD, things along those lines, right? Neurodivergent conditions, we would call them. And I unpack the intersections of those identities, those conditions, and race and gender, and what does that mean, and sexuality for people, how does that impact our lives? I have to think about patriarchy. And so, as I spent a lot of time over my 20s, my late 20s, my 30s, unpacking how patriarchy has affected me, it's made me look at these things a lot differently, but also see that sometimes people do want to understand, but they just can't get their brains out of that paradigm, that loop of thinking that they've been stuck in, to see this differently. So I'm gonna use some examples from some other things to describe this, right? So like white supremacy, this idea of white supremacy, like let's start there. We get that mixed up, right? All that means is there is a certain type of culture defined as social norms, group ways of thinking, shared understandings of history and different aspects of life, right? There is a certain form of culture that a group of people has said, this is ours, and it's the best, and it's better than anyone else's culture. And not only is it the best, but all the other ones aren't even good. They're nowhere as close. So everyone should follow this. It's saying that that culture is supreme. So when we say white supremacy, what we're really saying is white folks, folks from Europe, indigenous to Europe, white Europeans, the Western white Europeans, specifically in like the UK, have said our way of thinking is the best. That's why there was this period of time where the Irish had to become white, right? The Italians had to become white. The Polish had to become white, because being white at first was reserved to folks in England, right? And the other white folks weren't white at first. Whiteness was a thing that had to grow, because it said the way that we do things, the people that we are better. God has made it so, right? That's what white supremacy is. It's not like, oh, all white people are genetically evil, blah, 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 blah. It's saying that culture, the culture of whiteness, is better than all the other cultures, right? Okay, so we got that. We can understand that. You might not agree with it, but that's just like not agreeing that 2 + 2 is 4, or that the sky is blue. Okay, that just is a historical reality. Another thing when I'm thinking about patriarchy is it's really that same concept. It's saying that the way that we think as men is better, that men are physically stronger, that men are superior in a multitude of ways, and that everyone, women, every other gender, needs to follow suit to us cishet men and follow our plan for life. That is what patriarchy is. It doesn't mean that being a man or being masculine is bad. It doesn't mean that being really into things that are traditionally masculine, like real outdoorsy stuff and fishing and hunting and violence, is bad, right? To a degree, right? It doesn't mean that that's bad, right? It means that to say that these things are true and better than everything else, that everyone, regardless if they are a man or not, needs to think like this. That is what patriarchy is, right? Think about it in terms of intelligence as well, right? Intelligence is such a broad concept. We try to do this IQ scale and all that stuff. IQ scales measure a small domain, a small corner of domains in the theory of intelligence. in addition to a small corner of domains, it represents domains of intelligence that are more present in certain types of communities by geographical need and by societal need. If you made an intelligence scale that also had kinetic intelligence in there, that also had things that indigenous communities had to know and understand in order to survive, right? Those intelligence tests and those results would be a lot different, right? Intelligence is a broad concept, but what we say is the IQ scale, right, which only measures a very small corner of the domains of intelligence, that this is the empirical scale. This is the only scale that matters. And if you don't score well on this, you are not intelligent, because we deem this to be intelligent, right? It's the same thing, patriarchy. It's saying that there is only one way to be a man. And that's the correct way. Anything else, we might accept you, maybe, but you need to get on the program. This is what humans keep doing with life, right? We keep finding things that work for us as individuals or small groups and saying everyone needs to do this. And if that group also has some kind of power over other people, they force that way on those other people, instead of just embracing the fact that this is a big planet. There's a lot of things going on. Different cultures of people have figured out different things, and we can all embrace that there's different ways to do stuff, right? So this is patriarchy, y'all. Patriarchy is listening to a woman talk and discuss things and thinking that, wow, she's being pretty rational, right? That, being smart means being cold, pragmatic logic, exhibiting cold and pragmatic logic. Intelligence also includes emotion, right? Emotion plus pragmatism equals a deep form of intelligence, not the only, right? But we need both of those. Patriarchy says that women are not as strong as us. Well, okay, there are some areas that men are physically stronger, typically, not always, right? But also, I don't know about you, but the ability to give birth, the ability to carry a child and let that child grow and develop and come out of your body, I don't know about you, but it sounds like that's pretty damn strong. Just saying, right? I don't know, if we want to think about what sexual intercourse looks like for heterosexual couples, I don't think it's really painful for men, right? For women, it's this balance of pleasure and pain at the same time. I don't need to describe all the details of it. You get it. We're not getting penetrated, right? There's understanding strength. It's just like understanding intelligence. Strength means a lot of different things. There's physical strength, and there's different domains of physical strength. There is mental strength, and there's different domains of mental strength. There's spiritual strength. There's all different types of strength. So look, all I'm saying in this is I hope you can understand that patriarchy is really just centering one group's way of thinking, right, over all others, saying that it is better. This is the way that other people should think. And when we get frustrated with someone who's not a man because we say that they're not thinking about this correctly, do we really mean that? Or do we mean they're not thinking about it like a man? Like my idea of what a man is supposed to be. That's patriarchy. None of us can operate healthily under a system like that, including men. That's it. Keep walking.